Hi everyone. Welcome back to our channel.
Hello, I'm Judy and this is John. You are listening to J&J English Cafe.
So, grab a cup of coffee and join us for a chat.
Today, we're going to spend a few minutes learning something useful together.
I'm ready. Let's get started. Hello everyone. Welcome back to J&J English Cafe. I am John and I am joined by the wonderful Judy. How are you today, Judy?
I am doing great, John. I am very excited because I am looking at some flight tickets for my next vacation.
That is perfect timing. Actually, I wanted to ask you about something I saw online. People were talking about travel, and they used a very strange phrase. They mentioned having 4 legs.
4 legs? Well, that sounds like they are talking about a cat or a dog.
Right? I was so confused. But they were talking about flying to Europe. What does a leg mean in the travel world?
Oh, that is a great question. In the airline industry, we use the word leg to describe one part of a journey. Specifically, it is the flight from one takeoff to one landing. So, if you fly from Taipei to Hong Kong, that is 1 leg.
I see. So a simple round trip to Japan would be 2 legs. 1 leg to get there and 1 leg to come back.
Exactly. You are a fast learner, John. Now, have you heard of the 4-leg ticket strategy? It is a very popular way for travelers to save a lot of money.
I have heard the name, but it sounds very complicated. Why would anyone want 4 legs instead of 2? Wouldn't that take more time?
It does take more time, but it can be much cheaper. We call this an X-origin or an Outstation ticket. Usually, you do not start the trip from your home city. You start from a different city, which we call the Outstation.
Wait, that sounds backwards. If I live in Taipei, why would I want to start my trip in Hong Kong?
Well, airlines want to compete for customers in different cities. Sometimes, a flight from Hong Kong to London with a stop in Taipei is much cheaper than a direct flight from Taipei to London. Even though you are flying more, the price is lower because the airline wants to attract people from Hong Kong.
Wow, that is very interesting. So, how do the 4 legs work in this plan?
Let us look at a classic example. Imagine you live in Taipei, but you buy a ticket that starts in Hong Kong. Leg number 1 is Hong Kong to Taipei. Leg number 2 is Taipei to London. Leg number 3 is the return flight from London to Taipei. And finally, leg number 4 is Taipei back to Hong Kong.
Oh, I see it now. Since I live in Taipei, leg number 1 and leg number 2 are actually separated by a long time, right?
Precisely. You can use a stopover. A stopover means you stay in a city for more than 24 hours. You could fly the first leg from Hong Kong to Taipei in January, stay at home in Taipei for 3 months, and then fly the second leg to London in April.
That is amazing. It is like getting a trip to Hong Kong and a trip to London on the same ticket. But Judy, how do I get to Hong Kong to start the whole thing?
You have to buy what we call a positioning flight. This is a separate, cheap, one-way ticket just to get you to the starting point.
So I have to pay for an extra flight, but I still save money overall?
Usually, yes. Sometimes you can save 50% of the original price. Plus, because you are flying 4 segments instead of 2, you earn more airline miles. This helps you get a higher membership status or free upgrades later.
This sounds like a dream for travelers. But there must be a catch. What should I be careful about?
There are 2 very important things. First is the no-show rule. You must fly the legs in the correct order. If you decide to skip the first leg from Hong Kong and try to just get on the plane in Taipei for the second leg, the airline will cancel your entire ticket.
Oh, so I cannot be lazy. I must go to the starting city no matter what.
Yes, that is a rule you cannot break. The second thing is your luggage. When you arrive in Taipei on your way back from London, you need to make sure your bags do not go all the way to Hong Kong on that 4th leg. You need to ask the airline if you can pick up your bags in Taipei.
That sounds a bit tricky. Imagine my suitcase going to Hong Kong while I'm sleeping in my own bed in Taipei.
Exactly. That is why you need to check the rules of your ticket carefully. Some airlines are very nice about it, but others might say no.
Well, I think I am starting to understand why people love this. It is like a puzzle that saves you money.
It really is. It takes some planning, But for people who love to travel, it is a very fun way to see more of the world for less money.
Thank you so much for explaining this, Judy. I feel like a travel expert now. Maybe I should start looking for some four-leg tickets for my summer break.
That is the spirit. Just remember to check the dates and the baggage rules.
I will. Thanks again, Judy. Wow, that was a very interesting topic, Judy. I hope our listeners enjoyed it too.
I hope so. If you like the vibes here at our cafe, please subscribe and give us a 5-star review.
Also, don't forget to check the show notes for the vocabulary list and today's key phrases.
Thanks for stopping by J&J English Cafe. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.